Hey, this is Matt and welcome back to the channel, everybody, where I'm going to be sharing with you my laser cap journey for hair regrowth from back in 2018 when I first used this treatment as a monotherapy for 9 months without any minoxidil, without any finasteride whatsoever, just as a monotherapy, hoping to regrow my hair first. However, the results I'm going to share with you in this video, and simultaneously I want to share with you also results of one of my subscribers who first got on finasteride and minoxidil, then he got side effects, so he stopped and switched to laser helmet also as a monotherapy for about 8 months, hoping he's going to maintain or be able to maintain his finasteride and minoxidil hair gains. What happened to him, to his hair, I'm gonna share with you as well in this video. Before we start, however, this video has been brought to you by GoFiber, which are hair building fibers you can use to mask any thinning or patchy areas on your scalp to make your hair look thicker and better. So make sure you check out the link in the video description below where you can visit GoFiber, get a free sample of your choice from them and try them out, see if you like them. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Good to see you once again, and make sure you smash that like button if you enjoy these hair loss and hair transplant related topics and you want to see them coming from me. Make sure you smash that like button right now. Obviously, if you're new, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you very much for that. Before I talk about my results and results of one of my subscribers, obviously please see or take it with a grain of salt. These are just 2 anecdotal reports. There are many other reports online of guys who got better or maybe worse results from LLT. This is what I concluded being true for me after using low-level laser therapy. I found out that the effects of low-level laser therapy can never ever be long-lasting unless you block the underlying cause, which is the DHT, the dihydrotestosterone, which is mediating the androgenetic alopecia progression, which is speeding up the hair miniaturization on your scalp. Lasers also do not regrow hair, they simply just improve the quality of your hair and also the diameter of your hair, and ideally your hair shouldn't be way too much miniaturized. If it's already more than 50% miniaturized, we know that even treatments like finasteride are not able to thicken it up all the way back to 100%, not even talking about low-level laser therapy. So if you really hope to get some thickening from this treatment, your hair shaft better be like just maybe 80% of its original thickness, not less, ideally 70 to 80% still, so way above 50% ideally. From my experience, I would also conclude that rather women are more likely to respond favorably or positively to low-level laser therapy compared to men, just because the vast majority of men's hair loss is androgenetic alopecia. And if you take a look at women, most of the women actually don't experience female like pattern hair loss like androgenetic alopecia, but much rather like some type of telogen effluvium, maybe traction alopecia or hair breakage or hair loss as a result of, you know, mechanical damage to the hair, like over processing the hair, like straightening, perming, dyeing, blow drying too much, or even bleaching. And these things, this mechanical tension coming from the outside is causing that either diffuse hair loss or maybe hair breakage. And if you then use low-level laser therapy on this issue, you're much more likely to see results compared to a man whose underlying issue is that DHT sensitivity of that androgen receptor of the hair follicle. Okay, so that's just on topic of this. And now let me share with you my results before the low-level laser therapy and 9 months after. Alright guys, so this is me. It was July 2018, like mid-July. The most balding area will be probably this area immediately behind the previously transplanted zone after my first hair transplant. And this area is already by now, it had been transplanted with second hair transplants. This is another before photo, which is quite an interesting one. You can see the diffuse hair loss on the mid-scalp and crown. And again, the area which is probably the most balding immediately behind the previously transplanted area, which meanwhile already got transplanted with my second hair transplant. All of the guys who have been following my channel know by now that I got about 1,000 grafts transplanted on this area, and it just looks much better and fuller right now, guys. Okay, so please just pay attention to this area and how its density will or will not be changing over the next 9 months of me being on low-level laser therapy as a monotherapy. So that was also the area which I was hoping to thicken the most, and I already knew that I will need a transplant on that area, so that was fine with me. This was the crown area from another angle, which actually looked a little bit better from this angle than from the previous other photos. Also from here, it looks a little bit better than compared to this angle or this angle. So again, this is the before situation, guys. I have been using the Essential Hair Restore laser helmet with 51 medical grade lasers and LEDs. I've been using it every other day for 25 minutes for, again, 9-month period, very regularly. Okay, I was really taking that seriously. So this is month number 2 after me being on low-level laser therapy, monotherapy, and it actually looks kind of worse. I don't know, at least from this photo, it doesn't look really good, to be honest. And you can see that I was letting my hair grow longer from the vertex area, and I let it grow like this, and I combed it forward, so I was able to cover that diffusely thinning mid-scalp right here. But we can see that by this time there is literally like no improvement whatsoever, and I also didn't feel much improvement by this time. Let's fast forward to the month number 9, because actually I didn't find any photos between month number 2 and month number 9. I'm sorry. But on the left we can see the situation before, and here on the right we can see the situation after 9 months. So as you can see, not so much of a difference. The hair grew a little bit longer, especially on the sides, but especially if we look at this area here, really, I don't see any difference. You know, I just don't see much improvement whatsoever for some reason, and I really didn't feel like it really improved anything, to be honest. And that's why I was also keeping the hair longer on top here on the after photo, so I can cover it up, so I can camouflage that better. And here it was more uncovered due to hair being shorter, especially here. But as far as the hair thickening or hair density, like nothing really improved after 9 months. Also, if we take a look at my hair loss from other angles, maybe from here, it actually looks kind of, yeah, the same or slightly worse, I would say, even compared to before. Depends on what angle we will choose. Alright guys, and just for the record, on the same year I started taking Finasteride, and 1.5 years later you can see what happened to my hair. This is again the before photo after I stopped laser helmet for after 9 months, and here on the right you can see the photo of me being on Finasteride for 1.5 years. I started in 2019 and then kept taking it until today, and you can see how it improved. Obviously I got this hair transplant, this minor hair transplant on the mid-scalp immediately after this previously transplanted zone of 900 grafts, but if you take a look at the second portion of the mid-scalp and crown, it is visibly thicker on the after photo on the right. Alright guys, this is the second part of the video where I'm sharing with you the results of one of my subscribers who sent me an email, my journey with LLLT, iRestore Pro and verdict after 9 months. So his protocol was not the Essential, but actually the iRestore Pro, the more expensive version, which by the way has not 50 but 200, how many? 282 medical lasers. So pretty much like 5 times more medical grade lasers compared to the Essential version, which I've been using for 9 months. So let's take a look at what happened to him. Let me give you a little bit of the history on this guy. So he pretty much started experiencing diffuse thinning in the fall of 2019 as he was turning 23, and in October 2019 he started with oral Finasteride and topical Minoxidil from Keeps. It actually worked pretty well for him. As you can see, I'm going to show you the photo right now. So this is his before situation, before he even started any treatment whatsoever. So by this time here you can see the diffusion going on the frontal third, and that's the time when he decides to get on Minoxidil and Finasteride. He's been taking it, by the way, for about 6 to 7 months, if I'm not wrong. Let's read further. So this is his hair 5 months later, guys. you can see how thick it actually looks like. Let's compare these photos, guys. Left is the photo before, and on the right you can see a photo of his scalp after about 5 months of being on 1 milligram finasteride and minoxidil 5% from Keeps, and you see that this thing is working for him. If we take a look, if we zoom in on the hair, we see that the quality, especially here in the frontal third, improved. You know, you can clearly see that the diffuse hair loss is almost gone. So great improvement. From now on, he starts slightly experiencing some side effects. Sadly, it wasn't sustainable because in the spring of 2020, I started to notice my sex drive was waning, and by late April 2020, my sex drive was totally dead. So he pretty much decided to eventually stop with even minoxidil, seems, because it gave his hair gray, dusty texture that he didn't like. The new after photo on the left will be our new before photo, because this will be the baseline before he started using low-level laser therapy. And now let's take a look at the photos after 9 months of being on low-level laser therapy from iRestore as a monotherapy. Whoa, all right. The lighting is different, it's much more brighter here, but nonetheless, we can see that the thinning progressed, and it's obviously like he lost ground. He definitely lost ground. That's why you cannot ever rely on, you know, trying to maintain your results, which you got from minoxidil or finasteride with any other treatment like laser. It's not gonna be able to maintain these results. And this is what unfortunately happened to him. Obviously, we can see that the diffuse thinning is back. We see that the gains from the left photo are gone. The minoxidil and finasteride gains are gone. And we can see that the diffusion is pretty much kicking in, you know, pretty much the same way as he's back where he was like 2 years ago. Maybe, yeah, depends on the lighting, but I would say more or less it's the same. Maybe a little bit more miniaturized on the photo on the right, which is the actual photo, the current photo, but actually he's back where he was before, and the laser treatment didn't really do much here. Okay, so you know, maybe it did, but the effects are so minute, are so minimal, that you will not be able to see them visibly, as it was the case with me. I wasn't able to see any visible effects of low-level laser therapy as a monotherapy after 9 months. I would say if you don't see any results from low-level laser therapy after like 6 to 9 months, you should really reconsider whether you want to even continue this regimen, okay? Because after 6 to 9 months, doing it every second day for like 20 to 30 minutes almost, it's also a time investment, and that's why, you know, you should ask yourself whether it's worth to you or not. So yeah, guys, that was pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to share with you the results, pretty much 2 case studies or 2 anecdotal reports, and let me know in the comments what you think about that, whether you had a similar experience with low-level laser therapy, whether it was better or worse. Maybe you haven't tried, maybe you want to try. So hopefully this video gave you some additional information and some disclaimer, like when to do it and when not to do it. I would say do it if you are on a stable FDA-approved protocol, anti-hair loss protocol like minoxidil and finasteride, ideally the latter. Minoxidil could be optional if your hair loss is very unstable and you need that additional stimulation, thickening effect with minoxidil, then use minoxidil as well. But I would say finasteride is very important here. And on top of that, you can use definitely the low-level laser therapy. Am I considering using laser again? Maybe I'm going to use it. Now I'm traveling so much, so I don't want to carry my helmet with me all the time, because it's also not so small, unfortunately, and that's why I'm not using it right now, but I would reconsider it again in the future. So that would be my end verdict, okay? Guys, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like this video again if you haven't done it yet, but I'm sure you have done it already. So thank you for that. Anyways, you can check out my website, mattdominance.com, where you can check out my some of my hair transplant related guides. If you're interested in a hair transplant, you know that I'm helping guys who are interested in a hair transplant to make a well-informed decision to maximize their success success from their hair transplant. And I do that also in a one-on-one personalized calls to which you can apply on the link in the description below. Just go to mattdominance.com/mentoring, where you can apply for a consultation with me, and we can talk about not only hair transplants but also hair loss related stuff like this. So make sure you do so if you are interested, and also check out our free Facebook group, Hair Transplant Experiences, with over 3,000 members in the group, which can also help you make a better decision before your hair transplant. So that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to be seeing you in another one. Take care.